Okay, so let's be real. When most people hear the words erotic massage, their mind goes straight to happy ending. But what about Tantric, Lingam, and Yoni massages? Are they just fancy words for the same thing, or do they actually mean something different? Now, if some of you are sitting there watching this, scratching your head, being all like, Ali, what the hell do those words mean? I'm about to tell you. So Lingam and Yoni are Sanskrit words referring to your genitals. So Lingam means wand of light, referring to men's genitals, and the Yoni refers to the sacred space, which is the woman's genitals. Today, I'm gonna break down what sets those two apart, the pros, the cons, and how both can impact your intimacy, pleasure, and self-connection. Whenever I do videos about happy endings or erotic massages, y'all are so curious to know more about this topic. So I'm trying to get down to the basics for you all. And since I've spent the last few years traveling and exploring how different cultures approach sex and intimacy, I've actually seen both sides of this up close. So I'm talking about spa menus in Southeast Asia to tantric workshops in Europe. I have made so many videos about these topics that you can check out on my YouTube page. I will link them at the end of this video. And also, if you want a little bit more in-depth insight into my personal experiences participating in some of these activities, you can check out my Patreon where I post a little bit more exclusive content on there. I will link it in the description below this video. And just know that if you do, you are going to be supporting my channel, which I greatly appreciate, because it helps me stay motivated and share all the interesting things I learn as a sex education student with you all. And also stay tuned, because later on in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a resource on how you can actually learn how to give your partner a sensual tantric erotic massage. All right, let's start with the obvious, the happy ending. Now, this massage may involve some nudity or may not, but it's pretty straightforward. You get a massage, then you get a little sexual release. And it's usually focused on one thing and one thing only, and that is to climax. For some, it's stress relief, tension relief, and, a little bit of a thrill, because it's still a little bit taboo. So when we're looking at some pros of a classic, basic happy ending, we're talking about quick relief of stress and tension. It's definitely exciting and a little bit naughty. And it also doesn't really require some deep emotional intimacy or vulnerability. Now, when we look at the cons, the focus is definitely only on the end goal, which is the orgasm, which can feel a little bit mechanical. Also, it doesn't really help to build intimacy or any kind of self-awareness. And it can reinforce performance pressure if you feel like you have to finish, especially when you got the person giving you the massage putting on a performance for you. I'm talking about like the full moaning, and they're working so hard to make all the sounds to get you off and to finish. And it can be a little stressful. I remember experiencing that firsthand. Not someone finishing me, but someone trying to finish my partner. I couldn't focus because all I was paying attention to was this performance that she was putting on. And I don't know, if I were a guy, I feel like I would have a little bit of difficulty to finish there. Again, if you want to know about some of these experiences, you could check out my Patreon in the link below. Now we're going to move into the Tantra massages, specifically the Lingam penis massage and the Yoni vulva massage. So these massages are rooted in Tantra, which is all about expanding your awareness and using that sexual energy to deepen the connection with yourself and with others. In other words, it's not just about the orgasm, okay? Imagine candles, warm lighting, soft blankets, some incense, some music, whatever you need to make you feel relaxed and comfortable and get into sensation, breath, energy, and healing, and just feeling really good. Sometimes orgasms happen and sometimes they don't, and that's kind of the point. There is absolutely no pressure to climax. The first time I experienced a Yoni massage, I was so surprised at how relaxing it felt. It did not feel sexual in nature at all. I had never been touched like that before, and my body was just responding with pure relaxation. It was like reconnecting with parts of myself that I didn't even realize I had. That's why tantric massages can be so healing. It's almost like therapy for your body. Now, before I get into the pros and the cons of the tantric massage, I'm sure a lot of you are sitting there watching this video, hearing tantric massage and thinking to yourself, okay, but like, where do I even start? Like, do I need to just Google it? Do I need to fly to Bali and go on some tantric retreat that costs like thousands of dollars? Not necessarily. And this is where the sponsor of today's video comes in, which is BEDUCATED. Now, if you haven't heard of BEDUCATED, let me tell you, it is the #1 online platform for sexual wellness and education. They have over 150 courses, video tutorials on things that you didn't even know they made courses about. All these courses are led by sexperts from around the world and range from things like Yoni massage and Lingam massage, which by the way are some of their most popular courses, to communication courses, to intro to kink and BDSM, oral sex techniques, you name it. And what I love about these courses is that they're taught by professionals who actually know what they're doing, and they show you exactly how to do it step by step. In their videos, they use real life examples. They don't shy away from anything. You're gonna see a lot of nudity, all right? Gab and I, my partner and I, actually did the Lingam and Yoni massage tutorials. I actually made videos about it. I'll link it at the end of this video if you wanna check out our experience. But it was so helpful to have hands-on tutorials to show us exactly step by step what to do and how to do it. Because let's be honest, like we're not all skilled or born with the skills to just know how to inherently do these things. They require practice. And if we don't practice, we're never gonna learn, and we're never really gonna enjoy what really, really, really good, intimate, pleasurable sex feels like. So if you've ever been curious on how to explore sensual massage with your partner, then I definitely recommend you check out BEDUCATED. You can use my code IMPERIALI, which will give you 50% off their yearly subscription. And you know what else is great? They have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you give it a try and you're like, meh, this actually isn't for me, then no hassle. So I'm gonna drop the link in the description below. Again, you can use my code IMPERIALI. You get 50% off the yearly subscription. And be sure to thank me later when you become this tantric guru inside the bedroom. Okay, so let's go back to what makes tantric massages so different than a happy ending. So in terms of the pros, you're focusing on whole body pleasure and connection. You're not just touching the genitals. You're focusing on everywhere, all the erogenous zones that feel good. It also helps release shame and tension in the body. It can improve intimacy, communication, and self-acceptance. And the last one, which is probably my favorite one, is that you do not need to orgasm. It's just about exploration. I mean, you can orgasm if you want to, but it's not necessary. You are just there to receive what your partner is giving you, and that's it. No pressure. In terms of the cons, it can maybe feel a little bit intimidating and woohoo if you're not really used to, spiritual, mindful practices. But I want to remind you to keep it simple, okay? You can take the word tantra and spirituality and all that out of the equation, okay? Again, check out the BEDUCATED video if you want to learn how to do it, okay? And all you got to do is light some candles, get some warm lighting, put some music on, a little bit of incense, get your oil, maybe a little nice blanket on the bed, bring your partner, have them lie down and just give them a rub. Like, it really doesn't need to be more than that. And at the same time, again, bring your laptop so you can keep the BEDUCATED video tutorial open as you are, learning to do this for your partner. Once again, my code is IMPERIALI. I'm going to put the link in the description below if you want to check out the BEDUCATED courses. And again, you get 50% off for the entire year if you are interested. All right, another one is that it takes time and a little bit more emotional openness, and it requires a lot of trust and patience. So this type of massage and activity, it's something that you don't want to rush, okay? You want to take your time doing it. And as I mentioned before, it is a really great activity to build trust with you and your partner. So the big differences really come down to this. Think of the happy ending like fast food. It's satisfying, it's quick, but it's not necessarily nourishing for your body. And when we think of the tantric massage, think of it as a slow 5-course meal. It takes time, presence, and openness, but can be deeply fulfilling. So why does this all matter? For people who are focused on tantric massages, Yoni and Lingam massage can be powerful ways to shift focus away from performance and into sensation. And for couples, it is such a great way to build intimacy and break patterns around sex that feel repetitive or disconnected. It's just a great way to switch things up in the bedroom. But hey, there is no judgment either if you prefer just having a happy ending. Different experiences serve different needs, and both can be a healthy, shame-free approach to sexuality. I am not one to judge. I have tried both with my partner, classic happy ending and more sensual tantric massage, and I'd say that there's definitely place for both of those. And again, if you want to hear about some of these stories, check out the other videos. I think they're kind of fun to, learn about what other people are doing and to get a little insider scoop on how these things actually work, because again, people are very curious about what happens behind closed doors in these kinds of situations. So now I want to hear from you. Would you be curious to try a tantric massage? Or does a happy ending sound more like your vibe? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And also, last note, I think it would be really interesting to explore the whole happy ending tantric massage from a woman's point of view as the receiver, especially in a professional setting, because I feel like it's very different from the man's. So it's something I'm toying with the idea of perhaps testing out on my own. And of course, if I do, I will absolutely keep you all posted on my experience. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my Patreon for more behind the scenes and candid conversations. And again, I will link the sponsor below this video as well, BEDUCATED, so you can check them out and use my code Imperiale for some perks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Je vous aime.